Okay, morning, folks. Welcome to the club flying briefing on Thursday, the 2nd of June. A lot to get through today, not just the weather, a bit on the club operation as well, and local airspace. So, weather-wise, perhaps not quite as good as it was looking a day or so ago. I think that's possibly down to the upper cloud we're getting, but there's a southeasterly drift across us, but this lot of moving up to the southwest. This sort of frontal system here over France is tracking northeast, but it is drawing in some cloud with it, and you'll see that on the sat pic in a minute. Wide spacing on the ice bar, so it's not strong wind. Pressure's gone up a bit from yesterday. So TAF's short, quite straight to the point, 126 knots, scattered at 4,500 feet for Farnborough. Heathrow and Gatwick are giving the same sort of thing, few at 4.5, Heathrow few at 4.5, and 110, 120 knots. On the ground, only 4 to 5 knots. At flying heights, the wind a little bit more east-southeasterly and then a touch stronger. It's fairly fresh down through the channel and across northern France, across the country, 150, 160, 10 knots most of the day. Yeah, that's certainly going to represent bringing some sea air into us during the day. This is the sat pic, and the issue is this sort of cloud here coming across us, picked up both on the visible you've got here and the infrared sat pic, and you can see it here. It might lie in bands. Well, during the soaring window, it might lie in bands across us, that make the soaring conditions a little bit challenging in some places. Temperature wise, 18, 19 today, I think, to be usable by mid-afternoon. Considerably warmer than yesterday, and dew points a little bit lower than yesterday. I think dew points down about 6 and 7s during the late afternoon. So plug in those numbers into the local soundings. Looks quite reasonable. I think we're looking at 4,000 foot cloud base, at least. Cloud tops up here around 5.5 to 6. That's local to Lasham. The lines are fairly well spaced apart, so it's suggesting few or scattered. Here a little bit more cumulus to the north, I think. And I also looked to see how far north it goes before it starts to deteriorate. This is the sort of Nymphsfield area, and that sounding definitely looks like a lot more cloud and quite a bit lower. So the suggestion is not too far north, potentially not too far northwest, potentially going north and east into East Anglia looks a possibility. And Top Meteo is suggesting that sort of thing. They're suggesting it gets going somewhere around 10:30. I disagree with that. It should be triggered by then to get going. Haven't got an actual Lark Hill because 4-day holiday, they're not going to be sending up any soundings. But the rest of the data shows that looks around about right. And then as the day goes on, look like reasonable cumulus over us and to the sort of north, certainly fine into the northeast, East Anglia, out towards the northwest, not too far. There beyond sort of Swindon, Cirencester area, I think might be a bit tricky. And then I suspect we're going to start to see the sea air have an influence here. Mid to late afternoon, still should be okay. to the north up towards the M4 and beyond that, and certainly into East Anglia. But they're showing a lot more cloud in this area here compared to us in the afternoon. And then I think this late afternoon, the sea air will have got to us or gone a bit further, so makes it a little bit more challenging to get back. Thermal heights, as I say, by 11 o'clock, hopefully it should be around about 3,000 feet, maybe near that. And then by sort of 12, we're looking at 3.5, then heading towards 4,000 feet by early afternoon. And you can start to see top meteo suggesting the sea air ingress here, but still fairly reasonable in this area around the Salisbury Plain danger area. And they're showing some of this, what they call Q congested, which basically means bits are spread out probably in places further to the north. And then by 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I think we're going to see the sea air here, but still reasonable. Hopefully to the west of us and to the north of us. Right, their suggested distance. Let's look at the 18-meter distance. Good along the south coast. I think you can move that line a little bit further north. You will have spread out in this area and okay towards Cambridgeshire. So top meteo is sort of roughly in line with Skyside. There's not a great deal of difference between the two. So reasonable day and a fairly early start, hopefully, to get everybody away before the airspace. So the non-Royal Flight airspace, lots and lots of bits on the map. Nothing really of note. High intensity radio transmissions of Boscombe, the usual stuff for 18 and 20, just to notify that the danger area crossing service is not available. Then you've got paragliding in various places around here. 34 and 35. Parachute jumping at South Cerney, or parachuting activity at South Cerney. We're not going to be tasking the comp near there. Just be aware that's active from 1:45 to 2:15. There's been a paraglider, paramotor event there for the last couple of days. And this is it there. So busy in that particular area, and that really is about it, unless you're bashing in right into East Anglia in here. But we're not, certainly the comp is not task set in that way. The important one for us, the Royal flying past airspace, because essentially this will affect us dramatically in terms of the comp, and it's something we need to all be aware of. Hopefully you've had an email, you've perhaps got a file on your flight recorder system or your moving map. It kicks in at 12:50 and it runs for 40 minutes till 13:30, and that's space, controlled airspace right the way down to the ground. We're unfortunately caught in it. We're there, and the edge of it is right on the sort of altered reporting point. So plan of action for us: comp will be on 09, club flying on 09. They'll set up fairly shortly. We'll launch the club gliders whenever we can, but club launching will stop at 12:10, well before the start of the airspace. That's to give people who've launched the chance to actually get west and literally to Chilbolton area and a way out of that. You don't want to get caught in it, because it runs a long way out to the west, and it also runs an awful long way out to the northwest, almost out to line of beyond Swindon. So you'd have to be launching an hour and a half before that if you're going to run to the northwest. Club launching stops at 12:10, and we want all club gliders, that's club owned gliders, on the ground by 12:30. If you've got a discus on hire and you're flying cross country, that's fine. If you can get out here, do so, or you can get to the south, great. Club members, it's your responsibility to ensure you stay clear of that airspace, and we will have no activity really on the airfield apart from people landing up to the point of 12:50. There'll be regular calls on the radio. Hopefully that all makes sense, folks. Come and ask if it doesn't. Really, really important we don't have people infringe this. There'll be no way back for anybody from that one, I'm afraid to say, if they infringe it. Okay, so 09 operation, folks, aerotowing from the north side grass, comp on the runway. We'll see you out there.